everybody. Come on in, come on in. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Hey, say hello. Let us know where you're from, where you're joining us tonight.
Hey, y'all.
Come on in, come on in. Yes, yes. That was crazy. Sorry.
Ain't nobody thinking about you.
Sorry. Man, we got the big stuff, the ads. You know how the ads just pop in.
All right, Lorenzo, we expected you to give us these scores because we only got one from the Browns.
No, I got the scores. Don't worry about it. I got
you
the
asked for it last week. We was trying to let you be able to watch your game. That's why we asked him last week for this.
I got the scores. I'm ready. What are you talking about, man? I'm ready.
The Browns are on. Ignore her.
I don't have
in the middle of the score. She's gonna be like, yes, or something like that.
I'm gonna know. Okay, look, just so y'all know, the TV is over there. I'm over here. I can see the game. I can scream and holler. If I have to mute me, I will. But right now, I'm very concerned, and so are all the players because Nick Chubb went down. So it's hard.
Right, exactly. See, even he knows.
So we're gonna hurry up and do these scores.
So she's gonna rush everybody else.
I'm gonna mute her. That's what I'm gonna do.
We're gonna hurry up and do these scores. That's what's gonna happen. Get up!
Just picked up his
Jay, you just picked up his backup in your fantasy team. I'm surprised you not. Well, you probably won't. So I appreciate you hopping on. The way his knee bent. Oh, y'all watching the game tonight. Look at that. Look at our loyal fans.
It's not something that I need, that mental picture. Please don't give it to me.
Hey, Kelly, they won't show it here in Cleveland, so we know it was bad. they would hear it.
Jay, I'm already on your fantasy team. You ain't got to put me nowhere.
Ooh. Got him. Dropped it.
Are we talking about him? Or are we talking about the game?
Everything. Right,
y'all are funny.
We're gonna go ahead and get started because y'all know I ain't gonna be able to pay now 1 minute attention to this daggone show tonight. Okay. Oh, the defense is
that's fine. I got it.
Please. The Browns defense is clowning. So this one's for you, Chubb. This one's for you, baby. Get well and get back on this field. All right. Welcome, everybody, to another marvelous Monday on Juicy Tales Erotic Chat. I am your hostess, Ms. JewCee, and I could not do this show without my wonderful, gorgeous, vivacious, melanated queens, Miss Siren, all the way out in LA, and Miss Purple Rain, all the way in Indianapolis, Indiana. So hello, ladies.
Hi.
Oh, we've got a hot topic tonight. I hope you guys had a great week. Um, anything that anybody wants to share how your week went, or
It was a
Um,
week.
I
it was a
had
good?
I had the fastest 30 hours trip of my life and had a ball doing it.
The Browns are just they just Pittsburgh just scored on a very long pass,
Why he said get ready for Juicy to scream?
and no, I didn't. Right now, the Browns are all give us a second half, y'all. Give us some grace because I know everybody there saw Chubb go down, so they kind of out of sorts. I can see it, but
That's
anyway,
okay. They'll bounce back.
they'll bounce. This only first half. First half. Its score is 16-11 right now. So
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
does,
does.
Jay. It's on my YouTube channel. It's actually on all three of our YouTube channels. So I can send you one of the links. And you definitely might want, if you don't, because I know you're watching the game. So you can always catch it on playback because tonight's topic is amazing and it might be one you want to listen to.
I think it's a good
So
one too. Good job on that one. Yeah.
so
it's my life right now. I've been taking my topics from my life.
I've been
Every
trying not
time
to.
something new happens I get a new perspective, it makes me want to talk about it because it's happening.
so we're gonna go through the scores because we don't want nobody not to know the scores tonight.
Give us the scores, baby.
I'm ready with the scores. I do have them. So I'm we're gonna start with Thursday night, last Thursday night. So we have the Vikings and the Eagles. And it looks like the Eagles beat the Vikings 34 to
Good now, Jay.
28. Packers and the Falcons. Looks like those Falcons beat those
Well,
Packers.
all right.
Interesting. The Bills and the Raiders. The Bills beat the Raiders 38-10. And the Ravens and the Bengals, it looks like the Bungles are just not on track yet this season. But anyway, the Ravens
Who they?
won
She said
27 to
bungles.
24.
That was petty, but okay.
Hey,
I'll take it though. It was a good petty though. I like
thank
that.
thank you. It was. I thought it was. Anyway, the Seahawks and the Lions. Uh-oh, he dropped the football. No 2-point conversion for the Steelers just then. The Seahawks and the Lions. Seahawks beat them 37-31. The Colts and the Texans. Look at the horseshoes pulling that out. 31-20 over the Texans. The Chiefs and the Jaguars. It looks like the Chiefs put an arrow right through the heart of the Jaguars. Chiefs win 17-9. The Bears and the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers beat the Bears 27-17. Chargers and the Titans. Looks like those Titans beat those Chargers. The lightning bolt is dimming. 27-24. The Giants and the Cardinals. Giants beat the Cardinals 31-28. The 49ers and the Rams. Oh, this looks interesting. 30-23. The 49ers beat the Rams. Jets and the Cowboys. Cowboys won 30-10 over the Jets. And the Commanders versus the Broncos. I wish the Commanders would get a real name, but the Commanders did win 35-33. Go ahead and go back to the Redskins. The Dolphins and the Patriots. Thank you, Dolphins. Flip a ring on the Patriots. 24-17. And the two games that are going on for Monday night right now, we've got some scores. The Saints, and it looks like it's the Saints over the Panthers 13-6. And the Steelers are beating the Browns 16-11 right now. So there are your scores. I thought I did pretty good.
You did amazing.
And the crowd goes wild. Oh, we did a wave.
Really? Really?
It's a two-woman wave. I don't know. She didn't do the wave with us. Okay. Boo. Purple Rain. You are
Because why?
because it was fun. What the heck? That's why. Oh, some people.
Y'all still love me. It's okay.
Some people. So tonight, you guys, we have a great topic for everyone. So we're gonna buckle it up, clank clank, and we're gonna get ready because this is a good one, y'all. And we are gonna allow our beautiful melanated queen, Miss Purple Rain, to take the lead on our topic this evening. So yes. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? So, we are going to be talking about tonight live for all of you. So, make sure that you're tuning in and you got your pencils and papers ready and taking a few notes, getting a few pointers. But tonight's topic is about dating active single fathers. Yes, yes, yes. And the difficulties and the challenges that come along
Hey,
with
Rella.
that. All right, so here we go.
Okay, so I know that this topic is a little bit different than what we normally discuss on this show. But as y'all know, whenever I have a topic, I pull from my personal life. So, a long time ago, when I started to finally start dating, and this just goes to show manifestation, but one of the things that I asked for in a mate is someone who's a good father. Because those that know me know that my son's father is not active in his life at all. And hey, Jay, welcome back. My son's father is not active in his life at all. And I am a for real single mother. Um, so whoever comes into my life has to be able to fit in with daily routine with me and my kids. It just is what it is. Now, in doing that, I have run across some very great men. And not necessarily that they've been great for me, but they've been excellent fathers. And most times when women date, the men are great, but might not necessarily be great fathers or male influences into their children's lives. The difficulty, though, with dating active single fathers has been that I know I holler I'm busy all the time, but they just as busy, if not busier. Because the children do not live in house, but the children, they're always with their children. So there's not no real downtime because they're always out with the kids doing stuff, picking them up when the moms have to work, um hanging out even if it's only just for a couple of hours. So a lot of the time spent with those men usually ends up having to be in the evening time when they don't have the kids,
Mm.
which is hard because I have my kids 24/7, so being not at home at night could be a problem if your kids are not old enough. You see how that difficulty can be? They're available in the evening time so they can kick it then. But single moms, we got to be at home in the evening time. So we want earlier hours, and it's hard to do. It's hard to balance the two. So you have to find that balance.
There's also another side of that. You
Mm-hmm.
also have the active I have my kid single dad.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So those are the
And
ones
it,
that
it
actually
work. It's the
understand what
same with
you're
them
doing.
too.
What I'm saying is
That's
that
a whole nother beast,
right, they
though.
understand what you're dealing with.
Yeah, the ones that have custody, it's even more complicated. It's even more complicated, especially when their child is their priority,
As they should be.
as they should be. So I've just been kind of navigating this thing, and I just wanted to give some tips tonight on some things that can be done um to still keep that dating life going, and so that you can build past the dating part and possibly get into a relationship and combine those families and become the Brady Bunch. Because that's the ultimate goal at the end of the day, is to make sure that you all are compatible through and through, on more than just the fact that you're single parents, so that you can combine those families and become bonus parents to each other's kids, if that's your goal, because marriage isn't everybody's goal, commitment isn't everybody's goal. And also to give, the other point of my wanting to do this topic is to also give encouragement to those women who are dating, whether they have kids or not themselves, but are dating fathers. Because sometimes it might seem like they're not into you because they're a little distant. It's just because they're into their kids. It has nothing to do with them not being into you. Because men handle things a little bit differently, I've noticed. Like most times when you're dating, people say all the time, oh, if he's not texting you first, if he's not contacting you first, if he's not doing this and that first, then he's not into you. Well, when they're an active single father, it might not be the case, because as an active single mother, sometimes they might be on your mind, but you might have forgot to hit the send.
Oh my God. You might have
You
that
might have,
ADD that you
you
do
have to
that. I
give
do
the
it a
same
lot.
grace. Right. You have to be able to give that same grace to those single fathers that you want as a single mother. You want to
So
compound.
let me interject here, because I've been in this situation where I was with someone that had, I don't know what it is about me, but I tend to draw men that have 4 kids. Um, it's so it's never like, one, it's four. And I think we also need to add into the dynamic into the conversation. Not only do they have maybe multiple children, but they also have multiple mothers of their children.
Yep.
And that also gives some issue, in some cases. Maybe possibly the co-parenting isn't going well. And that adds another layer or dynamic to,
The situation.
the situation that you have. And it can make things very uncomfortable in some ways, because sometimes those men need to vent, and they vent a lot of the time to you,
Yep.
because they feel like you're their safe space right now. um I have fallen asleep in the middle of a
I
text
have
many.
too.
Y'all need to learn to call
Did
me.
someone read Rello Cole's comment?
Yeah, well, unpopular opinion, dating a single active father who are good fathers is difficult, but essentially the idea is comfortable. When dating a parent is difficult because they would have to trust you around their kids, so someone would have to be vulnerable. And that's so true. So true.
And here's the thing about a lot of people, because I think we don't hear about it. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
You hear a lot in the media, of course, needless to say, about the single mom. You hear about that. You hear about the deadbeat dads, but we don't hear enough about the men that are out here actually taking care of their children. We don't hear enough about the uh, people that have learned how to co-parent and work together as a for the betterment of the child. We see a lot of negativity more than the positive that actually takes place within, a complicated relationship. We'll put it
Right.
that way. Uh, and I think that part is what's really, really sad, is that we don't. I think we don't see a lot of that, and that affects us as well, because we do hear. You got to admit, we are bombarded by the word deadbeat dad, bombarded by it.
Yeah.
And I think we would have to ask ourselves the question: do you actually know a deadbeat dad? I mean, I think if people really ask themselves that question, like honestly, I think about all the men that I have in my life, and I have a lot of male friends. I don't have one deadbeat.
I do. But he's my ex-husband, so it is what it
That's not
is.
it. But that's not your friend.
Yeah. Oh, that are my friends? No.
So that's my question. Like, do we really ask that question? How many men do you know that's in your life that you love like that? Or have, that's my dude. How many of you of them are deadbeats? And 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna say all of them. You're gonna say probably maybe one. But I honestly don't know any. So I can't really take that stereotype too seriously
I
when
know
I
a lot of bitter baby mamas though.
I know a lot of bitter baby mamas, but them bitter baby mamas is bitter because of them.
Nope.
My personal experience. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm
Majority of
saying for
the
me, that's not my personal experience. I knew what
right,
you were saying.
yeah,
I'm
the
saying for
majority of the
me,
baby mamas that I know, they're bitter because of the shit they're doing.
because of what the women are doing or because of what the men are doing?
No, what they're as the mother is doing.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a he is actually doing the shit that she talking about. No, you actually causing the issues. Why are you trying to make it seem like somebody else is? He wants to be a dad, but you're telling him that he has to do this in order to do that. That's not how that actually works.
I agree with Jay. The black father research shows that they're the most active group of fathers. People just believe the loudest person in the room, and the loudest person in the room is the black hurt woman.
I don't know if I can completely agree with that whole
I,
statement.
I
I agree
agree
with
with
the
that
first
statement.
parts.
I'm gonna say this, and it's not necessarily the black hurt woman, it's the hurt woman in general.
Thank
Is
you.
the
We're not
only
about
way
to
I'm
put
gonna
that.
correct it.
Yeah, I
But
can't quite go with that. But I
but this
can
is
go with
what
the
I'm
hurt
saying.
woman.
But no, to what he's saying, and this is why I agree with him, because black fathers are the most active fathers.
I agree with
But
that.
and the reason why I say hurt women are the loudest people in the room, because there are a lot of women of other persuasions who have children with black men who say the same thing. But as a whole, black women are the loudest in the room when it comes to calling their fathers, their baby daddies, deadbeats. A lot of the negativity comes from us.
Pandora, I agree with you. She says, but being bitter shouldn't affect the kids' relationship with their
It
dad.
shouldn't,
Absolutely.
but that
It
don't mean that
shouldn't,
they
but
And,
it
doesn't.
and
does.
but it unfortunately, you're exactly right. It shouldn't, but it does. And I think what we have to do at some particular point in time is address the elephant in the room, which is why are women bitter? Why are you hurt? I mean, some women. Let's be honest. Um, let's be transparent. Y'all didn't have that conversation with that man about having no baby.
Yep. I was going to say
You
most
didn't,
women are bitter because they're no longer with him for whatever reason.
but
Whether
y'all didn't
they
have no
discuss
conversation.
having a baby or not, whether they discuss having a baby or not.
But
Most
I'm saying from a lot of standpoints, a lot of these women, there was no between the man and the woman, there was no conversation about, and there was no protection used by either one. Okay, make it
This is
because it's
equal
50-50.
opportunity thing. I swear
child.
it
Right,
is.
50-50-50. Okay,
Equal
but
opportunity.
there was no discussion made about let's have some children. Let you know what we already, what we say, Siren. What do we say about us as women when we
We
see
gotta stop
somebody?
that. We gotta stop it. You need to actually have some kind of
Exactly.
conversation. Just because he might be the most beautiful thing in the world. You got catch your eye. I swear to goodness, just give you all the feels. You don't know this man. You don't know if his voice sound like he Mike Tyson or something, or you don't know whether his breath stink, or you don't know whether this dude will straight leave shit on the toilet seat or something. It's shit like that. You don't know if this man don't brush his teeth and then he do the
And
it's a
yet you
whole
didn't fall in
lot.
love with him because you saw him around the way and cut your eye at him ever so slightly.
I'm very shallow when it comes to looks. I do love something that is beautiful to me, but I understand.
Okay, so Jay is saying nobody else is talking about deadbeat white, Spanish, white. women whom they date black men, they want, I'm sorry, to
When they date black men, they want the black dick is basically I think what he's saying. So they follow and talk ish just like a black woman.
honestly, we don't even have to put race in a lot of this. What I mean, that doesn't really, honestly, it doesn't matter. This is
What
this
does
is
this
really
represent?
about men and women.
Yeah, just men and women in
Men,
Men
general.
and
men
women
and
dating single fathers.
it's just
Women
doesn't
are
matter
bitter
what.
because they don't have coochie discipline. They didn't want a baby. They wanted the man. He didn't want her, but she decided to have the baby and now she's
Yeah, and
alone.
he still fucked her. So what? Anyway, can we get back to the topic?
But so that is where the drama comes from. But again, let's get back to the focus of the positive. When dating an active single father, ladies, when dating him, you have to give him the same grace you want given to you. He is still a single parent, whether the child is in home 100% of the time or not. You know just as well as anybody else, if you are a active parent in your child's life, y'all always got stuff to do. Because there's plenty of times where people say to me, well, you're always busy. I'm a mother. There are times where I think I'm gonna have downtime and my child is 18 and dang near grown, and I still got stuff to go do for her because she needs her mommy. It just is what it is. So, ladies, first thing, let's give them the same grace we want afforded to us. There are times when we have to cancel because of our kids or things come up. It happens with them too. Just because they're the father does not mean that they are not parents.
Absolutely.
I think the other thing too is we also need to make sure that we're talking to the women that don't have children who are dating men with children,
Yes.
because I do believe sometimes maybe a little bit of jealousy pops up in there. Why are you spending so much time? Da 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 da. Because
Well,
they may not understand
yep,
the amount of commitment level that it takes
to be a parent.
to be a parent.
Yeah, well, Jalen said it, and Jalen said it. I looked down a little further. He said it's always weird that women find it weird when the men get along with their mother, their
And I
child,
think it's
and
a
they can actually
beautiful
co-parent
thing.
in
I
peace.
think it's a
I
beautiful
think it's a beautiful thing.
Oh my goodness, it is so beautiful to be
It's one of those things that I get jealous of low key, but I don't be jealous in a bitter way. Like when I see men who get along with the mothers of their children and they can co-parent, low key, that's a turn on to me.
absolutely
Because it
because
means you got communication.
and it also tells
That's-
me that you've taken your ego out of it and you know that it's about the child.
It's about the
And that's
children.
exactly what
Exactly.
it is. Nothing more, nothing less. That's the important
But
part.
it's a turn on to me because it definitely shows
Oh,
clear,
hell yeah.
concise communication.
Yeah.
It
And
shows,
Tells me that you
and
can grow.
I like we have a Facebook user that I don't know who that is, but you wrote combined families have to compromise.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Now I
Yeah.
can't I come from a blended family.
me
My
too.
mom was a single mom and my dad was a single dad. But his kids weren't necessarily in his custody. He had the joint weekend or whatever when he and my mom met, and she just had me, my brother, and my sister. And as we blended, it was fairly easy because they took out the idea of, you know, this is the other. It wasn't, this is my stepdad. It has always been, this is my dad. It has never been, this is my stepdaughter. This is my daughter. No blood relation, but that bond between us happened because my mom and he were able to have conversations on how we were going to mix that with his four boys and the three of us. That's a Brady bunch right there.
The
And
Brady Bunch.
we all get along now. They're not my stepbrothers, they're my brothers.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
being able to see your parents work through that, including the ex wives and the ex husbands, seeing us be able to blend that together and it not be a, well, that was a great thing for me at least to see.
How about
Yeah.
we give a shout out for maturity? Okay.
Yeah.
Let
So
we talk about being a mature adult and able to understand that it does still take a village to raise a child,
I was
and
gonna say, and that's the type of blended family I came from. So my mom and dad are I'm their each one of their I'm my mother's oldest, but I'm my dad's only.
Mm.
They both got married when I was relatively young. I was about 3 and 4 years old when they got with their spouses. My mother went on to have more children with her husband, and they've been together 35 years.
Mm.
Um, my dad and my bonus mom were married for about 22 years. They're not married together anymore, but they are still in business together. I had four parents, four active parents. I had a village for one child, just me. And they, even at one point in time, all four of them lived together to make sure I had a roof over my head when my mom moved us here from Chicago.
That's community.
That's community.
mm,
Because my mom we moved here in 93. They stayed with my dad and his wife. Me and my sister were in Chicago with my grandparents, and my mom and my bonus dad stayed in the house with my dad and my bonus mom until they found an apartment and can move us down.
here, here's the thing: when we talk about bitter
Hi,
women,
Jay.
are we bitter? I want to get back to bitter because I
Oh,
feel
I
that's,
was getting ready to start talking about date ideas, but okay, go ahead.
well, I'm just, this is just a quick uh, thought that came across my brain here, um, because I'm noticing this a lot, especially when I drive. I have complete and total strangers in my car, and one of the things that I'm really noticing is that people, especially these young girls, and not trying to point any fingers or anything, but they are definitely angry. I don't know if it's so much being bitter as it is being angry that either they made a mistake, don't want to admit it, um, their situation isn't what they thought it was going to be, and they're mad. But I'm noticing so much anger in young people that haven't even stepped out into life. And I'm also noticing a lot of, I draw the line here. So there is no chance to really, like we say, do the clear, concise communication. There is no chance to try to co-parent. There's no real conversation anymore. It's like it's my way or the highway. And so there's no compromise, and there's just a big lack, I guess, once again, using the term, a big lack of communication, a real lack of understanding. And
Mm-hmm.
there's no empathy, none,
None.
towards another person, what they might be going through. It's like, well, you didn't spend no time with me. You got to have your kid with you all the time. And there's an attitude, and there's a whole thing with the negativity. Um, and that's the part that I think we really need to think about.
Uh, Rello. Okay, Rello has a date idea over here. Purple Rain.
I saw it. I'm gonna get to it when we get to that.
Okay. Um. Did Mark send you a message, JewCee?
He might have. I'm sorry.
What are you
My
getting?
stuff is turned down very lowly. I don't have a message from him.
Okay. Send it.
Okay.
So, what do we before we get to the dating ideas, what kind of tips can we give women besides, I know we've talked about grace and being more, more patient and things like that. Are are,
So,
are there ways that they can be a better partner and a better participant in this child's life or children's
well,
lives?
it just depends on the stage that they're in as far as dating. So, in the beginning, when you haven't met the kids yet, it's just always good to keep that line of communication open. And when I say give grace and understand that sometimes they might not always text you first, it's okay to text first. It's okay to send a "I'm thinking about you" text, because if he's thinking about you too, he'll respond. He just got busy. Um, Also, like you said, sometimes they need to vent. And even though some men feel like men shouldn't vent to their woman, if they need to get some stuff off their chest, be that listening ear and be objective. Um, don't don't jump on his side just because he's your man. Be objective. Be able to give him some feedback. Be able to give him a different perspective so you all can have an open conversation about it. Be willing to communicate if you are in a serious relationship. Be willing yourself and open to communicate with the mother of his children if you need to be that middle person. Because I know some women that rather communicate with the woman. They just don't get along with their child's father. And if they trust you enough or understand that you're good for him, just because they don't get along with him don't mean that they can't communicate with you and there can be some common ground. Because sometimes that can be what makes the situation better.
Yeah, give the things that they would want if the situation was turned around. Absolutely.
It, definitely. Again, it's about just being the best partner you can be and making sure that you're a benefit to your partner and not a hindrance.
Yeah, because raising children is
Oh my
hard.
god,
It's hard.
it's
Hard.
hard enough without the drama.
Exactly, exactly, and you don't really, if you're dating someone, you don't want to add to, especially if there is um especially if there is some other drama going on outside with the mother. You don't want to add
Mhm.
to that. And I think
Never.
sometimes, you can, and you have to kind of read it, guys, too. I would say that too when you're dating, um because it's okay to say, you know what, look, this is not working for me. I'd love to, be friends with you, or, help out when I can. But, maybe this, us being in a relationship is not going to work if there's someone that's saying there's not a lot of time, you know, depending on it. It's okay to say, I can't do this. Jalen says the age of the child matters, in my opinion, because how you approach um, a child's compassion to a teenager is a whole thing.
That's facts. That's actual facts. My dad kind of went through it with my brother. My brother was, I think, 13 when my parents got together, and it was a little power struggle because it's when you're the, for lack of better words, kind of the man of the house. You're the oldest, and you're protecting your sisters and your mom and everything. And then this man come in and he trying to flex or whatever, or you think he's trying to flex, but he's just trying to establish who he is in the household because they've gotten married. But my dad was diligent, and Les completely fell in love with him, and you couldn't tell them two nothing about each other. You would not know that they were not blood related by the way they treat each other. Of course, by looks, but you couldn't tell Les nothing about my dad, and you can't tell my dad nothing about Les. And that's a beautiful thing. So yeah, you're absolutely right, Jalen.
I, you know, I've not let anybody meet my kid yet. But my child definitely knows that mommy is dating. And he puts his 2 cents in because he thinks he's the man of the house. See, I'm one of those mothers that don't want him to feel like he's the man of the house. He's 12.
I get that.
I
I
need him
understand.
to still be a child. And I need him to know that mommy got this. But the first thing he asks me about anybody, if I tell him I'm going out on a date, he's like, does he like video games? He needs to like video games. And I'm looking at him like, that's not a priority, sir.
For him it is.
For him it is.
For him it is.
But I get it because that'll be their bonding time. The next question he always asks me, and this is why I think I started dating men with children. They got kids because I want a brother. And I can't have any more kids. He want a brother. He keep asking me to adopt some kids and go adopt a baby so he can have a brother. I don't know what that's about. So I'm going to just go become a bonus mom.
He's the youngest, right?
Yeah, he the baby.
So he don't know what it is to have a baby in the house and all of that good stuff that he's requesting?
Right.
Okay. You tripping.
And the thing of it is, kids say the darndest things.
Don't they?
But see, what I keep trying to get him to understand is because he's my child and he is, even though he has a father, he's 100% my child. My son's not into, outside of the fact that I'm into sports. My son don't know nothing about sports. He's a latchkey kid who sits in the house all day. I'm afraid he's
a Generation Z kid trapped in a Gen X mind, because that was us.
He is, but he's also an introvert. He keeps saying he want brothers. That boy don't want. These boys out here that's got active fathers are a different breed of boy. They roughhouse. They play fight. My son don't know what none of that is. He gonna get beat up. And he's not used to having any men in the house. So having a male in the house would give him a completely different perspective. And the fact that he's 12, I don't know how easy that transition is going to be. Because it's literally been just me, him, and my daughter for his whole entire life.
He'll be fine.
I agree. That's his godfather. That's because that's his godfather.
I agree with him. He'll be
fine. Yeah.
He'll be fine. He'll be all right.
My daughter used to ask me for the same thing. I want a brother. I want a little brother. No, you don't. She loved being a baby.
So what do you think is like I said, what kind of what
is
kind
Mark
of
wanting to come on?
I think
I'm
so.
Sorry?
I think Mark's wanting to come on. That's up to you, boss lady. I don't have a link.
He said
yes.
I need him to have the link.
Or hold on.
He will have touch scan. Y'all are so great. Thank you. Salters, thank you.
All right, there you go.
All right. So here's the thing. When we're talking about Like, I think I think I think we are finally, I will say this, I feel like we are finally seeing some representation of blended families that are actually working with for in the celebrity world. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I
Where
don't
we
think
don't have to be bitter and crap and all.
right. They're all going on vacation together. They're all, um, you know, they don't have anything negative. They're not throwing dirt on each other the whole time. So there's a lot that I think is starting to change in this area because there are so many, you know, single fathers, single mothers, um, that are out there. And as long as we continue to put the child first and the children first, making sure that, they're taken care of, their well-being is looked after. um I think we're on the right track. I think we're
I
moving in the
agree.
right direction.
I definitely agree.
So do you all think that within our community, now we can kind of put it in our community's uh sense, when we're I guess the thing that that crosses my mind, once again, I'm thinking about women that are dating a single man, that the women that don't have any children. What kind of advice can we really give them to
My
understand?
biggest my biggest advice is to keep the communication open. Be honest about what you think is going on. Like, don't ever assume anything when it comes to a single father.
That part.
Don't ever assume, but keep communication open. And if you have questions, ask them, because men are open books. They're not going to hide nothing from you. Not if they really want you. And it just takes patience. It really does take patience, especially if you're a single woman who's dating a single father, because there's a difference. Single is single, but a single parent is a different breed, especially when the person they're dating is just a single person.
Because they're
And
parents 24/7. Period.
right. It's about having understanding and patience in any situation, because anything can happen, and the kids are the priority.
That part. And I think it does definitely take some emotional intelligence to really be able to understand
Pandora said
other
keep
people.
communication open. Understand that he has to communicate with the mother for the upbringing of their child. Correct.
Hmm.
Make sure
Okay.
you are able to comprehend what is going on and have patience.
Ask questions if you need to. Don't
I
just assume,
think
like you said.
the hardest thing for single women dating single fathers to understand is the communication between the mother of the child and the father.
There we got
There
Mark.
you go. There you go.
Hey,
Hey,
Mark.
Romeo. I didn't see Romeo down there. Hey, Mark.
Hey, hey, ladies, go ahead and
And
finish.
and, and one other thing I want to, I was going to piggyback off of what you were saying, Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Also, single women learn triggers,
Mm-hmm.
learn the triggers that will possibly have you stressing out over absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
And you're going to have to be able to speak and not be confrontational.
Yep.
you cannot step to, and I talk about this a lot. We want to talk, but we want to be like this, and your next thing you know, you're yelling, things get elevated, and in
Somebody going to jail.
a lot of instances it doesn't have
He
to.
said somebody going to jail. It don't always have to get there, but it can.
Now,
Well, somebody's
It be
walking out,
close though.
tempers, yeah, tempers,
They flare.
they flare.
hey, ladies, I came late. I was doing the same thing. Prayers to Nick Chubb. I know you're a Cleveland fan, JewCee.
And we just lost, shit. Oh my God.
Chubb.
Chubb is gone for the season. 90. Our other defensive lineman, our new one, our good one, just
99? Smith?
he, he just went down.
Oh, Lord. Oh, but back to what y'all was saying. I am a child. My mother came to me when I was 12 and asked me if she could marry my stepfather. I told her, does he make you happy? Because as a boy, all we want to do is see our mommy's happy. That's it. 2 years later, I had to move out. Because either I was going to jail or he was going to jail because he hit my mother. See, he did everything he wanted to do to get in, but once he got in, he thought that he could do and say whatever he wanted, not realizing I had a firecracker temper when it comes to my mama.
I'm sorry that happened to her.
No,
Yes.
no. Everything happens for a reason. This man was quote unquote a man of the cloth. So I have a perspective of somebody can only do what you allow them to do, and a lot of women and some men, because I was part of it, don't want their relationship, marriage, the children, to be affected by their nonsense, and they stay in toxic relationships regardless, even though they know it's wrong. I've been married twice, got divorced twice, and both my ex-wives were the same person, 10 years apart. And the common denominator was me. I have 3 boys. So, Purple Rain, I got a 13-year-old and a 14-year-old and a 24-year-old boy. I got all boys. Well, no. I got 2 girls. But they're not mine biologically. But biologically, I got 3 boys. So,
Okay.
He want brothers? I'll throw a whole lot of them at him. Here, take the tribe. Here you go. But I'm a stepchild too, and my father adopted my stepbrother to make him my brother. He told my brother, and he's my brother, that you will never have a different last name in the household full of Moses. So his biological father wasn't in the picture anyway. So he signed over his parental rights, and my father got custody. And so I've seen it from all aspects. And y'all ladies are right. Once ladies put down that guard and understand that every man isn't that baby daddy, isn't that ex-husband, isn't that one that dogs you out, and let that old baggage not destroy a new adventure. Because we are some good men out there. And we love, and I was taught, because I'm a stepchild, that if you come into a relationship with a woman with kids, the kids are a package too. You just can't want the mama and not want the kid. And yes, you gotta deal with the other parent. Ladies, you gotta deal with the baby's mama. Men, we gotta deal with the baby's daddies. And it's not that we're trying to take over your household, but like my father told him, if you and Mark have an issue, talk about it. But you put your hands on them, I mean, you got a problem. Well, it's my house. No, it's my house because everything in it. This is what my father told him. Everything in it belongs to me. Because when my mother and father got divorced, my father gave her all the property. That man walked in with only thing he walked in that house with was his underwear and his clothes. Everything else my father had bought. So I had this perspective that men, if you want to be the head of the household, it just ain't being a man. It's being the leader that y'all were talking about earlier. and it's not being in, I gotta beat my chest like a gorilla to be but you gotta understand that child. Like I would love to meet your son, Purple Rain, because he's 12. He never has had, like you said, nobody in his house to show him how to be a boy.
Mm-hmm.
You got you and his sister. Whole lot of estrogen in that house.
And
Man, come in. And
now
see, look,
I have him hang out with my dad, but my dad is 65, so that's
it's
a
not the
different
same. It's
perspective.
not the same. And your daddy
You're
old
right.
school. Your daddy old school. Me,
This is where we need the community, like you're saying, the community of
Mm-hmm.
guys who, hey, I see you a single mom and you have a child. Why don't you let this young man come over here so he can learn over here from us? Because boys need that.
just like
And
if you take him
because
to the
my
barbershop.
son is an introvert, I don't really push him. Like I want him to do Kappa League because I know some Kappas and his grandfather's a Kappa. Like I know some really good men in that organization. But my son is such an introvert, I can't even get him to do after school activities at school.
Okay, so that's where you gotta take him to the barbershop.
Yeah.
Take him to the barbershop.
Mm.
Leave him in the barbershop.
You,
There's the
you
problem.
already know. You already know, Purple Rain. You already know.
I cut his hair. I've cut his hair
Oh
for
God!
10 years.
That's
I'm
why.
a
That's why she gave that look. That's
barber.
why she gave that. It's her.
I'm a barber though.
But
But
Okay.
Mark,
the
I'm a
point
barber.
is,
I've
Hold
been
on,
cutting his
hold
hair
on,
for
hold
10
on. I'm about to interrupt both y'all. Okay, Miss Purple Rain.
Yes.
My mother was a typing teacher. My mother could type 120 words a minute on a manual typewriter, way before electric. You know
Mm-hmm.
what my mother did? Yes, she did this to me. I was waiting, I was asleep, I was having my best summer ever, so I thought, until she woke me up and told me she forgot that she had enrolled me in summer school. Guess what classes I was going to be taking?
typing.
Typing
Typing and shorthand. Two
without her.
disciplines that my mother taught as a Cleveland school teacher.
So in other words, go ahead and drop him off at the young barber that you know.
Exactly.
You're
Not
right.
because what you'll do is it will help him understand how men talk, and also help him be comfortable around being around other men. Because if he doesn't know how to be around men, he won't respond to men the way you want him to respond to men. He's gonna respond to you because you're mommy, and all he knows is mommy. You wonder why he's introverted? Because he has no friends. Why he has no friends? Because mommy got the as somebody said up in the chat, you got the reins on him. Mommy, you got to let the bird fly. Bird got to fly. He's closer to 18 than he is 8.
Yeah.
And when he gets 18 and doesn't have those coping skills, this is what a lot of, particularly black men, are angry because they don't know how to have conflict resolution because they've never been taught it. And I'm not saying bullying and getting into fights, but to have the conversation, bro. I'm just using me. My mother used to drop me off at the barbershop. My father used to when I got old enough, I used to get on the bus and go to the barbershop. Why? Because I found it fun to learn. That's why I learned how to play chess. I learned,
Okay.
the sports and people ask, older guys ask me, how your mother doing? What you doing? You doing your chores, blah, 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 blah. They holding me accountable for taking care of you.
It's the community men
That,
doing it, and he's seeing other men
that,
do it, so he knows what to do when he gets up there. Having the experience, because words don't teach, experiences do.
so, if, I don't know if you go to church, I don't know, but there's got to be, like you said, the Kappas. So have the Kappas come to your house.
Pick him up.
Have, have the Kappas take him to a football game. Have a Kappa um, take him to school. Have a Kappa come into the school as he's in the 6th or 7th grade. So for a student day, that way he's seeing men, not just mommy, because you're also not teaching him how to be independent, how to have his own thought.
Right.
What's mommy gonna say? What's mommy gonna think if I do this, and this? And he's also getting that age where biologically things are gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, yeah. But are you ready to have that conversation?
I am ready to have that conversation because this is at the same age where I had the conversation with my daughter.
But
So
it's
having that
different. It's not the same. It is not the same.
It is not the same conversation, no. But I'm comfortable with having the conversation, is what I'm saying. I'm not one of those mothers where I'm like, and I'm not having that conversation. When he asks me questions, I answer them.
That's great, and I'm glad that you are that mother. But it's still a thing of being able to ask a man that question.
You can answer the question, mommy. What do I do when my penis gets hard in the middle of class and my teacher asks me to come to the board?
Covered with a book.
You would never know how to answer that question.
She said covered with a book.
But again, but again, that's things that you're different, Purple Rain.
Okay. You know what, guys? We kind of got a little bit off topic.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
This is definitely a good topic to have in the future.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're fine. I'm just like, but we off topic.
Yeah.
Also,
go!
Damn it! I'll be right back. I gotta turn the game on.
Both of y'all, go to the corner.
Right.
Anywho, while he's turning the game on to be mad at the fact that she's cheering up here.
Right.
I'm sorry. Y'all don't understand this little 34 red little ass.
Even though we got off topic, let's get back on topic a little bit.
Okay, well, I couldn't help it. That's what happened.
Date ideas.
He didn't get a touchdown.
Date ideas. Yes, date ideas.
I don't know.
So let's go back down to where okay, so Romello Cole gave a date idea, and the date idea that he gave is when I was dating my ex and we did a family day, and I would go to the kids' indoor amusement park.
See,
I also
this is why I'm
time with. Oh Lord! I also spent time with the kids. Two boys, getting them active and helping mom out cleaning or cooking when she was tired. So in essence, what he's saying, he decided to do things on their level. That's what I heard.
Yeah. So that's a good one if you all are in a committed relationship. A date idea I was gonna put out there is when you're in the beginning stages and you all aren't ready to introduce the kids to each other yet. Or
I got it.
To the other adult. Pick a day where neither one of you all look at your schedules, even if it's a week or two out. Do a daytime date. It might not always be able to be a nighttime date.
I'm gonna be really honest. I love day parties now.
Well, not even day parties. I mean, like, go walk on the canal.
I'm talking about day dates and day parties, day dates and things like that you can do during the day.
Go get some ice cream and go for a walk for a couple of hours. Because it's easier to find babysitters, especially if they're little kids. It's easier to find babysitters during the day than it is at night.
Or while they're in school, you two go on a date.
But if you both work, that can sometimes be hard.
My office hours are from 9 to 5:30.
So, like, for me, for example, I'll use me as an example because this is something that recently happened. I'm dating a guy. His children happen to be the same age as my child. So since they're teenagers or preteens, we do day dates. Sunday after church.
2-point conversion.
Saturday in the afternoon. Because me and him are both entrepreneurs, during the week while they're in school, works. We'll go to lunch. We don't get to do a whole lot of nighttime, spending time, cuddling.
I know, right?
Because we both have businesses that we run. We both have children who live in our households because he is the custodial parent. It's a little harder.
That, and that's fair. Like with
We
me,
all and we also had to make the decision when we did want to have adult time, whose house was it going to be at?
neither hotel.
That's hard though. Cuz who wants to spend the extra money?
But here's the
And
thing.
you got
If,
kids.
And we got
well,
kids.
but here's where I'm a call on that. If I can't meet your kids, I can't come in your house for physical activity because people think that kids are stupid. Kids hear more than we give them credit for.
I agree.
So I would rather, if I'm going to be intimate with you, kids don't know who I. If I can't meet them,
Ooh.
I can't meet them until. Hold on. Until it, like with me and Peaches, she met my kids. I met her kids. 8 months after we started talking. Why? Because we didn't know where it was going.
Yep.
If I meet it, and I always believed my kids aren't privy to every woman that I meet because she may just be that bedfellow. She may be that minute lady. But if you have some substance and we get past the 6 month to a year, yeah, like you said earlier, Purple Rain, they know you date, but who you date?
Right.
Because I'm not having that revolving door because kids get attached. Every relationship I got in, I got attached to the woman's kids. And, you know, if I can't get in, if I can't because if we become a blended family, my kids, your kids, and we break up, doesn't mean they got to stop being friends. And we're taking that right away from them because we break up because
Mhm.
now they don't got attached to each other. And now what happens? Mommy, why can't I mommy or daddy, why can't I see such and such? Because most adults, when they break up on bad terms and it goes just like marriages and parents with kids.
I
They
agree.
forget the kids are the victims and the casualties of war of adults not knowing understanding yet. Our relationship broke up.
Okay, so on that one, because
Jay's talking about me talking to William. I think he went back and listened to the conversation.
okay, but even still, when it comes to these dates, okay, I understand. I think we're probably coming from the state where you guys are actually dating and your children have met the other person. So
Watson.
so with the date ideas, Romeo just put in here. He said grocery store dates. Then you can find out how they control things in certain situations and areas. Plus, you can have dinner planned for the evening. I think that sounds pretty good too.
Mhm.
Because
Well,
the kids,
That's correct,
Lorenzo said that.
Lorenzo. That's why I don't necessarily. That's why I try to be pretty candid with my kids without putting them in my business.
yes, that is correct. I will agree with you on that one. There does need to be some kind of boundaries though, but
Yes,
it's
I
okay
do
to be
keep
an open
boundaries
book.
because again, I have an 18-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son. And there are some things that even me and her talk about because I want her to learn from my mistakes because she's now dating. She's actually engaged.
Hmm?
Yeah. So that's a whole nother
It's okay. It's
topic.
okay. It's okay. You can breathe on that, Mark. You can breathe. You can breathe.
No, the
But
only
here's
reason
the
She's
why.
not
thing.
gonna
No,
die.
Here's
She
the,
no,
she's
here's
not
the
no.
gonna
thing.
die. She gonna live.
She's gonna make her own. She might make the
Exactly.
same
decision.
mistakes. She might make her own different mistakes.
They're
Whatever.
not even gonna be even if they look like the
But
same
I
mistakes,
just
they're not
want
gonna
her
be the same
to I
mistakes.
want her to be able I've always wanted her to be able to have that open conversation with me. So, but a lot of my date ideas were coming from the perspective of the you haven't met their kids yet. You're still trying to maneuver and get to know each other.
Okay.
I do know that everybody else is coming from the perspective of we're already serious. But the beginning stages is when it's the hardest because you are trying to maneuver something new with your already scheduled programming.
Mm.
I think
And that
dating
would
in the
actually, and
beginning,
that grocery store one would actually work very well.
And I
Yeah, it
think
would.
I believe that you need to do small things, you know, even with just regular dating. Everybody tries to make it so elaborate, you know, we're gonna show out. I got, you know, I got
How
this and
about
I got
no?
that.
You gotta take me to Capitol Grill with me and my kids, or if my kids don't
How
go,
about this?
I'm gonna order some food
How,
for my kids so my kids can eat when I get home. No, we're not doing that.
how about this? And we forgot, and this is the easiest thing to do.
We got another Brown player down. I'll
Tw-
be back in
tw-
a sec. I gotta
tw-
pay attention.
12 year olds like to play in the park.
They like to do what?
Play in the park.
Yeah,
Most
but
kids like to play in the park. Hold on. You meet in the park. You come to the park with your kid. I come to the park with my kid. They playing. They meeting each other. They meeting each other before. So I tell my kid go play. You tell your kid to go play. They don't know who. They don't know whose kid is whose. Now you watching them interact with each other. Now I see my kid gets along with your kid. While we not now. Oh, mommy, this is, and I'm gonna use my kids' names. Mommy, this is Matthew and Michael. Okay, now you already know what my kids' names are, and I already know what your child's name is.
mm-hmm.
So now you see the boys interacting, and this, and they don't have to know who that we're together. Oh, hi, how you doing? I'm Mark, and your first name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say your first name on camera. It's Purple Rain, but now we see the kids interacting. Now that makes it easier for us as the adults to now introduce each other because now the kids are now bonding. And now that the kids are bonded, it's easier for now the parents to say, oh, that's your mommy? Oh, that's your daddy? Yeah. They will
That can work if you all have already decided you all want to go to the next level. That's great for that first interaction to get the kids to know each other if you've decided you wanted to go there.
That
But
was my next question right there. What happens
what
if
if
the
the
kids
kids don't
don't
get
get
if the
along?
kids don't get along. If the kids don't get
The
along.
thing is, though,
if
what
the
if
kids-
you all are so new in your situation that you don't know if you're going to be at that level?
And I don't know if
Wait,
I'm
but
ready for you to meet my kids.
I'm not talking about 2 weeks after we meet.
I'm talking about 2 months. 2
I
months
might
after
not
we
know if I
meet.
want you to see.
I'm not
Like
I'm
you
not
said,
talking about 2 months.
it took you and your girl 8 months, right?
8 months. I'm not even
But what
talking.
I'm
I'm just
saying
talking about
is,
wait.
at 2 weeks and 2 months, you still need date ideas because you are still dating each other to see if you even like each other like that.
That part.
Oh, I wouldn't. Right. Oh, of course. I'm just saying as people get closer
Right.
and
Yeah,
know each other.
no. Yeah.
No, we're
No,
talking about
I'm
right
just
now.
using
We're
that
not quite ready for that part. We want to know
okay.
before
But
that.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Go get some ice cream.
That's why I was saying
Don't go for
day dates. That's
Go to
why I was
brunch.
specifying day dates.
Yeah, go to brunch
Go
or
to
breakfast.
coffee. Go get
Coffee,
ice cream.
yes.
Go for a
Get
walk
ice
on the
cream.
canal
Go get
on a
some
Sunday
coffee.
afternoon.
Go take a class. Go.
How
Like I
about go
said,
to church with each
try
other?
bowling. Try go kart.
I'm not going
Anything
to church because the
that's
kids is
active
going
to
to be at
break the
church.
ice. No, do not take me to
No.
church.
I'm not
Hell
going
no.
to church because the kids will be at church.
No,
Wait, I didn't say go to your own church.
I'm not going to church at all.
But that's
No.
you. That's you. But some people like Purple
Go
Rain
to
goes
church,
to church.
yeah,
But go to a different church.
But then that would have to be on the weekend that they don't have the kids.
Again, if you want to make it work, you as you said earlier, you talk to each other, you schedule it.
Yeah.
Let's find other things to do. I'm not gonna go to your church. You're not gonna go to my church. We'll find this other church to go to, just to spend time together.
The biggest point is that dating when both parties are single parent.
No, I'm not shooting my shot.
What, Jay? Really?
You go in the corner now. You need to go in the dang on corner.
Because if I wanted to shoot my shot, she would know it. But that's a whole nother story. Yeah.
Put that finger roll in there too.
Anywho,
or I mean, there's a lot of things to do. Barnes and Noble. walk in the mall. You ain't gotta buy nothing, just walk in the mall.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Romeo put down here. He said church is iffy. You're supposed to be there for a specific reason. Absolutely, I can agree with that. I don't think church is necessarily a great thing to for a date. Honestly, I really don't, because you're there. You're there supposed to be in this, and I don't know. People be there putting on airs and stuff like that, and right, rubbing a woman's hand in the sanctuary feels. And I right, you want to be able to kind of, hi, how are you? If you guys are at that point of being able to touch each other, I don't want to sit there and be like, okay, I might want to have a thought about this woman and then be sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, is God hearing me right now? I'm sinning.
Are you?
No. But other people might be
Okay.
looking at you and make you feel some kind of way. Yeah, plus all the church folks sitting there looking at you, the mothers of the church. Mm-hmm.
Now, if this depends on if you are, if both of you are into church and you're grown adults and that's what you want to do, that's what you
I'm
do.
in total.
It doesn't matter what we say. You do what's comfortable for you and your relationship. If that's where you want to go, if that's what you want to do, we're just giving you some ideas and some suggestions of where you might go if you wanted to, you know.
My suggestion is hit the canal on a Sunday afternoon after church. Go for ice cream.
I mean, if you're trying to find ways to, 9 times out of 10, if you're a single parent or single father, single mother, you're taking your children with you to church anyway. So I'm not sure, you know,
You know. But
what,
another
what
idea could be
yeah.
um
I
I
we
don't like
did
doing I don't like doing movie dates in the beginning. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, just go to see a quick movie." I saw a lot of that when I was doing some of my research on this topic about date ideas. I personally don't like movies cuz we can't talk.
Exactly. There's no communication just
And
sitting there next to me.
and when you're a single parent, so you have less time to communicate. I want to take
love it,
every
Maria.
opportunity to communicate.
Sound like a segue, don't it?
You're right.
Here, Romeo,
And you
we ain't plugging your thing
yes,
yet.
yes we
Oh,
are.
yes, we
Yes
are.
we are. We are
Too.
ready.
What?
I thought only
Erotic
ladies could do that
7.
one. I thought only ladies could do that one. The Wicked Wednesday is for ladies and gentlemen. This first one.
No, but a paint and sip can be
Oh
for
yeah,
male or female
Because
or
we did a
couples.
couples
There's
one too.
Yeah, we've done
yeah.
couples. So couples can
That
do
is
that.
true because you got the wine. You got your bottle of wine.
Yeah,
A
man,
little paint
painting
That's
and
a cute
sip.
sip.
little first date idea.
Yeah, I think that's a great first date idea.
Not
Even like
only that, or
even
you
maybe
can
even
do
cooking class or something like that.
or
Yeah.
cooking or
Now,
pottery. What's
cooking class,
pottery?
I think is a great idea.
Pottery. Have you guys seen, like, from
Ghost,
Ghost, the movie
get your
Ghost?
fingers all dirty and everything. Yeah.
Everybody sit behind you. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, the
I'm not
one that
gonna
goes
do
in
that
like
because
Claire
that's gonna lead to
Huxtable's
sex.
pottery from
That's gonna lead
from the
to sex.
Cosby Show,
Oh
right?
my goodness. We're gonna be nice to people though.
That's gonna lead to sex for
That
me. I
right. Especially
can't.
if he's good with his hands.
But
And
you
if he
can
can
do a
cook
lot of
too.
go to a
I be
museum.
trying to be good the
See,
first couple of dates.
I learned
Though.
how to cook from my grandmother, so we're not taking a cooking class because somebody gonna piss me off.
Oh Lord.
You can go to a museum, art
See,
museum,
Absolutely, yes.
science
Get
museum,
some culture and do
Hey,
and
if you
it's
here in
free.
Indiana, the art museum is free. We can go
see
do that
here
all
in
day
Savannah,
long.
we can take a walk on the river
we
walk.
can go to the MoMA.
We can go get on the boat.
The Hammer,
The
the
who?
MoMA, the Hammer, the Getty.
And here in
There's a
Savannah,
Oh,
whole bunch of them here.
there's a boat that takes a ride around
Uh,
Savannah.
the aquarium,
Um,
yep.
we can go.
That part. Ain't nothing wrong with being good and being bad at the same time. Yes.
Romeo, do you not know who I am? Being bad is in my DNA. I be trying to be
She's
good.
a Scorpio.
Well, everybody on the stage is good at being bad. So
Absolutely.
And the thing of it is that you can do things out of the box. You can walk the mall, like we said earlier. You can do a lot of things on a first date. But when you're with somebody that is a single parent, coordinating your calendars, coordinating that time together.
Being flexible.
Being flexible. Um, put it on your calendar. Put everything on your calendar,
Oh, I have to.
and make that decision that this is. Why Deshaun in the Pittsburgh bench throwing their player across the room? Okay.
Face mask. Face
Look
mask.
here, the Steelers fan and the
They're
Brownies
pulling.
fan.
Can we finish the show, please?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
This
ma'am.
show has been productive.
My quarterback is like got
This
some
show has been
cojones. But anyway,
productively interrupted by the Brownies game.
The Brownie game, because I got the the game is on in there. She watching it from wherever she watching it. Y'all can see. I ain't got.
He was like, "It's not my fault. It's not my fault."
But I
You
got
were
this.
still a Steelers fan, sir.
That see is right over. So, Anyway, and do you have any other date ideas? Purple Rain.
Not that I have. Some people have said the zoo. Salter said the zoo. He said the aquarium. Somebody said we need sound effects.
Oh Lord.
But just anything where I feel like in the beginning, especially when you're single parents dating, whether you're dating a single parent or you're both single parents dating, your first few dates need to be places where you can communicate and talk, because 90% of you all's time getting to know each other is taken up by children.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
I learned that in just dealing with the men that I've been dealing with, you finding that free time to talk isn't always available.
And it's not supposed to always happen at night.
You have to leave space for that and understand that.
But a lot of people, when they, and I've been trying to teach this to people, just because we're dating does not mean we're always exclusive.
Right.
We're dating.
That's the other thing that women, and I'm saying this because maybe it's men too, but from my perspective, that's something that women need to understand.
Absolutely.
Dating is dating.
Dating isn't
because
sex.
y'all dating.
And you know what? I will correct myself, because it is some men. Because my father asked me the other day, he was like, "Don't you have a friend?" I said, "Yeah, but I'm dating them all." He was like, "Why?" I said, "Because ain't nobody put a title on me yet. I'm dating them all."
And there's no title to ever put on somebody. See, that's another thing that this misconception.
But I meant in the sense of, because my father's old school. So I was meaning it in the sense of we've not decided to be committed. So I'm dating
Even if you're committed, there's no title with it.
There's no title with it. But again, my father's 65. So in his mind, there's a title. He's waiting for me to call somebody my boyfriend, my fiance, my husband. That's in his mind. That's what it is. It's not just a commitment to him.
Fair enough. Because my grandmother is still asking me when we getting married. I said, "Ma, you can call her my wife, but we ain't getting married." Because she says, "Where's your wife at?" And I said, "She at work. She in the bed. She sleep. She right here. Say hi." But she understands. My grandmother had to be taught. Because my grandmother was 92. My relationship is not the same the way you and granddaddy were brought up. You two got together at 13, and y'all only broke up because he died at 89. So you knew one man for 76 years. That ain't me.
That's not your choice.
I've been married twice. You know what happened with both those marriages. Well, it was your fault. Okay. It's my fault. My marriages didn't work. Okay. I'll take whatever you want to say.
I wish people would mind the business that pays them, and somebody else's marriage and how it's going is not it.
But I tell her to mind her business without telling her to mind her business. I said,
"Oh yeah, no, we can't tell mama's that, no, or grandma's that, no, we can't say it like that."
I tell her, "Mom, I'm not getting married, but I've been happy. I've been happier in my relationship now than I was in my other two marriages. I'm not screwing that up for a title."
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to tell her, and she finally understood. If I've been with the same woman for 10 years, and both my marriages together didn't last 10 years, sometimes I'm not going to disrespect my 92-year-old grandmother. No, I would never. Now, my mother, on the other hand.
So, hold on, guys. Really bad.
Yeah, come back.
really bad.
You gotta come
Jay, why you keep asking Mark all the questions? What's going
So
on?
what you in a huh?
So what you?
Oh,
I think he said what you want in a relationship. Oh, well, so what you in a relationship, Mark? With Mark? Who's in a relationship with Mark? What's happening? Wait, where did that come
What?
from?
That's what I was trying to figure out. I'm
He said
confused.
that's my dog. Okay, you got a whole new fan right here.
but what I'm trying to get at is that we as yes, I respect our elders, but sometimes the elders don't understand. You know, I'm happy. That's all you should care about. Not
Yeah,
that I gotta be married because I told her I don't give a damn what nobody else says. Both my parents are married twice. Both my parents are divorced twice. My grandmother taught me how to be polyamorous without teaching me how to be polyamorous because she introduced me to all her boyfriends, all of them,
and
because
there
I was
you
the
go.
oldest.
And there you
And there
have
you
it.
have it.
So,
So
Ja-
yeah,
Hold
Purple
on,
Rain.
wait, because we got to wrap this up. Because I actually am going to have to get off here because I got to go pick up my son, which is why you all don't see me drinking anything.
Um,
yeah.
so,
What's wrong, Purple Rain? We'll have that
in
conversation later.
closing,
We had that conversation later.
in closing, Purple Rain, I'm sorry. Would you like to give us some final
What
uh,
Yes.
what
thoughts?
the woman
So
he in a relationship
my
called
thoughts are gonna
partner.
go to the ladies because I'm a lady. Give the men the same grace you want them to give you as a parent. Keep communication clear and concise. Please don't bite your tongue because you think it's going to hurt their feelings. Tell them how you feel, because if you don't tell them how you feel, they're not going to know. Whether it's you feeling some type of insecurity because of the communication they have with the child of the mother or how busy they are, all of that stuff matters. And when it comes to a single father, he's so into what he's got going on, he needs to hear what you need to say. So, clear, concise communication. Give them grace and think of some fun date ideas and sometimes take them out. Don't he's a
Oh
parent too.
no! Now you about to strike a nerve.
I
Okay,
don't care. I don't
hold on.
care because he's a single dad too. Just like you want to be spoiled as a single woman, a single mother.
And that has
Last month,
nothing to
is
do
it
with the
September
being
still? It's
masculine
still
or
September. It's
feminine.
take a man on a date month.
All right, Jay, we gonna send you in the corner again too.
He don't believe in that either. They are definitely alpha men.
Okay, we'll have
Um,
that. But we're okay. So
It
Shirley,
doesn't matter. Look, it doesn't matter if you're alpha male or not. If you're dealing with a female that has any kind of compassion and any kind of caring for you, this is one of the ways that she can show it, is being able to do something for you, just for you. And if you don't know how to step down a notch so that she can lift you up,
you might need it.
I don't know
they
what to
said he
tell
take
you,
free
but you
food
need
good.
get out your feelings and allow her. If this is something that she wants to do for you, you need some grace.
Well,
Period. Point blank. You need
Romeo
some grace
said, "I
because look,
enjoy
hold
steak,
up. Let
thighs,
me
and
just let me
chocolate
just
cake."
let
Hey,
me let me just say this. When if you all become or get in a committed relationship, if she takes you out for your birthday or your anniversary or whatever the case may be, if she does something like that, what there's no difference than if she wants to do something nice for you because she appreciates you, because she understands you, because she understands what you're doing. She appreciates what you're doing. You didn't turn your back on your children. You are taking care of your children. You are there for your children. Giving you a break is not going to hurt your masculinity in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
that
In
part.
any person or any male that feels that a woman taking you out, buying you a drink, buying you dinner, or doing something nice to show her love and appreciation, respect and affection for you, you can't handle that, then you don't deserve that woman.
That part.
Now, Argue with that, motherfuckers. Now, on that note, I got to go because you know
No,
what?
no, no, ma'am.
There is a
No,
I got to
football
report.
no,
I
game.
got
no,
to
we
I
report.
actually do have
control
to
this.
go. The show is
I
now
control
becoming
this.
over.
I got to get back to my
What would
game.
Mark
You got
do?
to pick up
You
your
know
kids.
what?
I love
What?
you, Mark,
Really?
but you know what?
No, no,
I'm
no.
in control.
Let me say this real
Watch
quick,
this.
JewCee. Let me say this real quick.
You
Miss
ain't
Peaches.
never said nothing
Thank
quick.
you.
No, no. I'm gonna say it real quick. Peaches takes me out to dinner. She'll call me. You want to go to dinner? Okay, yeah, let's go to dinner. She'll take where you want to eat. If I want to go to Applebee's, we go to Applebee's. If we want to go to Ruby Tuesday, we go to Ruby Tuesdays. She will ask me, knowing that I will say yes, because we have set the foundation that we can ask each other, do we want to go out? See, that's what a relationship is, give and take, 50-50. Like Claire Huxtable said, and if we don't lose these macho where a woman can't take me out, then we're gonna get mad when we don't get shit. So we have to establish that in the beginning, like y'all were talking about. If we don't make that well, yeah, it's still 50-50. When I mean 50-50, it's give and take. We got to give and take. If we're not giving and taking from each other, then there's no relationship. Yes, sometimes it's going to be 70-30, 60-40. But if we're not giving back into each other as much as just taking, we're not going to fill that person up enough to be wanted, and then they're going to not know what to do with us. Then they're going to have the attitude. Men do it to women, and women do it to men. Because we don't communicate. Our foundation of communication isn't sound in the beginning, like y'all been saying about the dates and the going out to see how this person is. How do you know if a person likes mushrooms if you don't talk about it?
So I think we're kind of agreeing with each other slightly here.
Yes, just saying it in different ways.
Okay. So on that note, yes,
Go
we're
get your kid.
going
Go
to
get your
agree.
kid, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll talk to me tomorrow definitely because I'm a yeah. But yeah,
And I need to know what you two gonna do.
we talking.
She
He's talking
said
about
she
he.
gotta go. So
So we gotta go.
All right, y'all. Well, everybody, we had a great convo tonight. Thank you
Yes.
for joining
we
us.
did, and guess
gotta get her
what? We
early.
hit a milestone. We hit our first
Yes, we
chat
did.
with 100 comments.
Whoop! Well done, everyone. Well done. Well done. We love you all so much. Make sure you come back next Monday night. I'll try to not whoop it up too much and scream and holler. Browns are still winning 22-19. Thank you very much as we wrap this up.
It's still
Mark,
15
you have
minutes
a
to go,
new
baby.
hashtag.
And
We have a new
Right,
hashtag.
we got a whole
What would
hashtag
Mark
on this
do
bad
with
boy.
it?
Like, yo, WWMD. What the heck? Come on now.
so make
But-
sure y'all thank you so much, everyone. We had a great
Thank
time.
y'all.
Thank
and
you.
we will see you next Monday night right here back here on more Juicy Tales.
And I'll be here at 9:30. I'll be here at 9:30.
Dude,
9:30.
somebody mute him. I'm muting him.
Bye, y'all. Love everybody.
Everybody
Thank
have a
you.
great week, and we will see you right back here 10:30 for our folks out in Barbados, 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, and 6:30 for our folks on the West Coast. Love y'all. Good night. Bye-bye. Go dogs. Ow.